No, you get
Yeah, so
normal
this is
porn.
my issue
Yeah,
with
that's
porn,
what-
right?
Yeah.
There's a global movement, especially on social media, where a lot of guys, correctly so, are demonizing porn.
Yeah.
Porn is very bad, and it destroys society in many various ways. It destroys men.
Sure.
Some men are also speak about semen retention. So not ejaculating, keeping your semen in, which doctors don't advise, because they say the more you ejaculate, the more you release, the lower you risk chances of prostate cancer. This is a conversation. Because along with porn is masturbation.
Yeah.
There's the psychological aspect, and then there's the physical aspect. The physical aspect is that if you get addicted to porn, you're always wanking.
Yeah.
And you may damage yourself and your sensitivity. By the time you get into a girl, because you're used to your hand being rough in a certain way, you may not get the sensations, and you may end up wanting harder and what, because you're used to maybe squeezing your dick a lot or whatever. Or there's a way you make yourself come that a girl can't make you do. So that may fuck you up physiologically, physically.
Sure.
Then there's a psychological aspect, of which a lot of the porn that people get exposed to, and a lot of the porn that trends, is, I guess, what you'd call unrealistic and very aggressive sexual encounters. So at a base, sex is not for recreation. So it's not meant to be a hobby to play around. I'm bored. Let me go have some sex quickly. Sex is actually for making babies, for procreation. And I think, according to experts, it's only human beings and dolphins that have sex for pleasure.
For pleasure, yeah.
And all other animals do it for functional reasons. With porn and the hypersexualization of society, we've treated sex as if it's jogging. We must have a healthy sexual appetite. When was the last time I've been having a drought? Like, it's like there's something wrong with you if you're not having sex.
That thing, yeah.
And porn has made it worse, because the type of porn that trends is, number one, especially black guys with huge dicks, which is unrealistic. And you sit and you speak to urologists, doctors, who will tell you that the average erect size or decent size is 16, 17 centimeters. If you watch porn, Baba, there's no such thing. Umchita's got a dick that is fucking... Date is already big. It's bigger than that. And the girth, which is the thickness, is... So you look at your thing, Lendia series of comparing pubes, where there's one guy in school who has a huge dick and everyone is like, yo. It's like, fair to... All of us are not like that. So you want to find a norm, and porn fucks that up. And then you think of the way these guys fuck these women. She's screaming. And the woman is also squirting. And then yamphendula kube anal. And this visual act you're watching, it's like watching action movies where when guys fight, the one punches, then the other one punches. And then in real life, Baba, one palmer, already you start feeling something. And in real life, fights last 15, 30 seconds.
Done, Baba.
In the movies, a fight will last 45 minutes and then they reset. That's not real life. In the same way, in movies, the John Wick will and they die. In real life, bullets don't work like that. Can shoot a guy 15 times. If you're not hitting vital organs, if he's not bleeding out quick, the guy stays alive. It's that. So porn does that. It's this act with these actors who are, it's like people in the circus. They are like skilled to do this thing which is extreme. And we are living vicariously through them. But now we want to replicate this act in real life. So you're taking this woman, turn over, and you're spanking her, and what's my name? Who's your dad? And you're like, this violent act, which you're reenacting what you've been watching, takes away from what sex was meant to be, which was meant to be this intimate, closed thing. And that's why when men think of a woman cheating, when men think of a woman's body count, they're not thinking of this woman having an intimate, sacred moment with a guy she loved. And they prayed and they did this thing and the guy put it in and then he ejaculated. You're thinking of her being thrown against the wall and she was sweating and he was screaming. And then South African guys, because of our inferiority complex, if she slept with what we call it Cholof, a Nigerian guy who we assume have got these humongous dicks, you're like, I ain't she's finished this one. So porn fucks men up and women, because women also want to squirt and they want to scream.
Yo.
And now there's BDSM with 50 Shades of Grey where we putting candle wax and we're hitting each other, and then there's also role playing, and there's Kama Sutra. Those things are not natural. You know, a woman will leave a man, he's not satisfying me anymore. We need to spice it up in the bedroom. There are people called sexologists. All of that stuff didn't exist. Sex was for children, and now with porn, we've fucked ourselves up so much that if you're not having sex 3 times a day, or every day, there's something wrong. And the studies are people in a healthy relationship, have sex once a week. And that round of sex will last 5 minutes. 5 minutes. This is excluding foreplay and kissing and all these weird things. Just the act.
And then that's it.
5 minutes once a week is what's normal for a healthy couple. But because we also don't have these conversations, and what you're watching is porn, and you're listening to people who are maybe hypersexual speaking on thing, or someone being like, hey, I used to smash her every night. Or people who in their honeymoon phase are so sexually attracted to each other. They still having it a lot. But over time, what's healthy? You need to have a life. You get home, I love you, you sleep. He hasn't had sex with me for 3 days. Maybe he doesn't.
Nonsense.
Who taught you that thing? There's something wrong there.
And I'm a sexologist now, they're lying now.
It's because we've built this industry. That's why also you have the gadgets. I now need a vibrator. I've got a rabbit. I've got this thing. Now there are these rings. There's these things that it's become an entire... Food is a good comparison, except food is not as damaging as sex. Because food was meant to be fuel. I need fuel to get going. A monkey climbs up a tree, gets a banana, peels this thing, puts it in their mouth, they're good to go. A lion goes and tears a bark open, they have some meat, they're good to go. Tina, you have to take the bark and then strip the skin, and then you boiler, and then you chop, lagzopumi vors, lagzopumi mince, lagzopumi steak, and then also the way you prepare, this one is going to be deep fried, this one is going to be boiled, this one is going to be sauteed. I need spice, I need, when you add the cucumber, and this one tomato flavored. We've created a whole industry out of fuel. Imagine if this one comes with garnish, and before we put petrol in your car, you jiva, and the petrol comes with mayonnaise, and we just want fuel, Baba. My car just needs to go. That's what food was. But I think there's even food porn. We've actually created porn in food where the burger's juicy and it's leaking out of the... So sex has become that, where also when you speak rape culture, when you speak of the sexualization of women, when you speak about the reed dance, the way a guy looks at a woman is like, hey, I'm sure when she gets wet, when I look at her, and it's not what it was meant to be. And just to go back to this porn thing and sitting with your son, and we didn't speak about sitting with your daughter, by the way.
Yeah.
She spoke about the son. I normally tell people, because there's this thing of no porn, and I don't think there should be no porn. I think you must cut down on porn. As cheat. You should not be wanking all day, every day, or wanking every day even. Find porn sites and try and find the type of porn that when you look at it, you're like, my wife of my 3 beautiful daughters, this is the type of sex I want to have with her.
Mm.
Not when I'm horny and I'm out at a club and I see, yes, as Kim Kardashian. My wife whose parents I look in the eyes, who is the mother of my children. Or maybe even my mother. What sex do you wish your parents were having? Try and find that type of porn and keep it as realistic and as clean and as healthy, to. Watch that and let that turn you on and masturbate to that. When you see the threesomes and the orgies and the fetish, man bangs grandmother, stay away from that thing. That thing fucks you up. Man fucks woman while husband watches. Stay away from that thing. That thing fucks you up, man. It really, really messes up the brain.
Yeah.
And there's the he-she's, where some people watch these, I think it's Singapore and Thailand, where there's these guys who are women but with a dick, who are now fucking other, and you're like, yeah, no, gang banging. So you start on that process, and maybe this is also where obesity comes from. You start from this process of appreciating food until you start becoming addicted to food. And you want to taste and sample everything, and you're overeating, and now you're fat. Now you've got diabetes, high cholesterol. Now you're having heart disease. Where in fact you are meant to be like, look, there's a healthy way of eating. Now we're like the bold and the beautiful. Stop watching the ads and going to the spaces where if food culture corners just juicy this and what. Go to the spaces where you're like, it's a healthy sandwich. It's prepared in a decent way. It feeds my body in a certain way. Stay away from the places where you're like, what's on the menu? No, there's a buffet. No. Please, can you make sure I'd like my plate to have these things? And you're out.
That is true.
So I think maybe also just to answer from my side, I do believe in a conscientization of sex over maybe a 3 to 5 year period before your child has sex. I think that conscientization, you can start off very mild with speaking about general sex. Sex is when a man and a woman get together and they have a child from maybe by age 10. But from age 12, 13, I think there should be a more concerted effort of penetration, of, there's semen, the woman's body, the girl's going to start having her periods, her body's getting ready. And then over that next 3 to 5 years, you're teaching them. And where you can send video links, where you can show them articles and they're like, my dad's been teaching me or my mom's been teaching me. And you speak to them, you know what sex is? Yes, when the penis is erect and you put inside the girl's wet vagina, the vagina must be wet, yes. So the guy must check by fingering to feel that she's moist so that, she's not hurt. You're like, this child is... So you're ready? No, not yet, because I'm still young and, we don't have that type of support. But from 16, I will be ready to start having sex. But I don't think I'm financially ready and my parents are not ready for it. So
kid.
Once I have... And this child speaks conscious. I'm very conscious of what this means. And my dad has shown me, like, oh, that's doggy style. Nah, I don't want to do that. I want to stare at my woman in the face, be like, baby, I love you. Like, I'm gay. And you're like, okay.
That's true.
My light is conscientized. Your daughter as well, dad, I think I'm almost at that age. And you're like, I'm comfortable. You're not going to have some boy ride you like a fucking donkey. Like, hey, and when you meet that person you want to have sex with, you guys are also going to have the conversation. And you're going to be like, listen, I'm consciously aware of what sex is. And I'd like, if you're not aware, for me to conscientize you. And maybe I can take you to my parents. And I'd like us to speak about this thing we're about to embark on before we do it. You're like, I know, that's shady. You're like, I know. But my parents warned me about this, about modern society and what we're trying to do. And then anything from there, you're like, look, Dad, I've broken my virginity. From here on, say, me and you are not talking about this thing.
Yeah, it's done.
But we're done. And you taught me, saying sharp. And you're like, okay, cool. Good to go.
Until you have a kid, then I must get involved now.
Maybe not.
Now.
So that's all I have to say, man. I think we're also out of space, probably.
No, we have space, dog.
No, but I mean, I'm good. Unless closing remarks.
I have no closing remarks.
We need that African CODESA 2.0 and we must drive it. We mustn't wait for like a king or some Mkhulu Nsingiza and Mbuso Khoza we can sit and do this thing. They can come in late and argue with us in debates. You're welcome to come and share. But, you guys were wrong about this thing. Sit, sure, school us. And then after sitting, we then adjust. Or we tell them, no, we hear what you're saying. But that's exactly what we're fighting against. No, the men sending mass. You're like, Baba, no. That thing that you're saying, I think you are right. The land thing has changed. This is where we are. Women own land now. Women can dictate the culture of the home. And if her culture is better, Dr. Sizwe Mpofu Walsh converted to Islam for his wife. Perfect. She didn't convert to whatever he was. Because he felt for their union, this is the better belief system.
Imagine actually if we have that. Imagine if we actually start this.
No, not that we must.
Yeah, and we write it down. Let's say we do for 30 sessions. There's the app 1 version. By 30, when the big guys come in, the elders, blah, 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 we could have a blueprint. Because we would have schooled them over time. Because now they're in denial about what is happening now. Or they are not, they know, but they've conformed a bit, but they still want to hold on to it.
They also
holding on to it makes them feel good.
They also lost and they scared in a bus.
By the 30th session, Baba, we have this thing, it's here. People are going to want that thing. Actually, I think we should. And we must start with the first topic and write it down. Like this is what we discussed, Ep 2, Ep 3, Ep 4. That is a plan. That is a plan. CODESA 2.0 of culture. So start with the sentence.
Closing remarks.
Yeah, I think we definitely need the CODESA 2.0. My mic is dead, by the way, so I'm trying to project.
Your mic's dead.
Yeah, it's dead.
Do you want to come say what up to the peeps? Just to close off the episode. Are you out?
Yeah,
Are you out? Okay. Sharp. Thank you.
I'm out. Thank you so much. Mrs. is gonna have his closing remarks.
Okay, sure. My closing remarks.
Is your hair
definitely-
messed up?
No.
Oh, I just copy his fit. Just ukuthi ube muhle on camera. It iyakuvala ubuso.
No.
Or you can put it up.
I'm
Oh, just I think I'm looking at him,
Yeah, yeah.
and what I'm seeing is I wish I could see more of your face. So I'm imagining
you
a
can
camera
see more
might
of my face now.
Mawuthi nje kancane kapis. Just a
fit.
little bit up.
You know, it doesn't fit because of my hair. So it's literally
No, it's okay.
on top
No, it's
here.
not about the cap. It's about your face.
That's
that's
why
all.
I'm also just looking up.
Nothing wrong.
Sure.
Happiness.
My thoughts closing. Definitely need like that symposium.
Symposium.
Yeah, that's the imbizo angithi.
Hey,
Same
we don't know,
thing.
bro. You know.
It's the Codesa.
You went to a good high school, so
No, I read. Yeah,
symposium.
I read.
Uzo-imposer. With symposia.
So I think yadingakala, you know.
Yeah.
And I think the wealth that the show has is the community, the people, you know.
Sure.
The people that watch this channel, the people that have subscribed, the people that support this channel, I also think it's going to be dope for them to also just engage
Sure.
and to share their thoughts, because this is meant for the greater good of us as Black people.
Correct.
To go back and revisit some of these things and fix them and make them what we want to be. I think ukuba deliberate about these things is going to be very important. So ukuyibhala phansi, so that people have a point of reference, because it's good and well for us to have the conversations, but it's something else when you give people a book, just like the Bible, just like the principles of
Constitution.
being a Penuelist.
Sure.
These things are important, so people have that booklet in their homes, in their cars, in their pockets, to say, khona leya nto Africa Codesa 2.0. In this situation, when I'm feeling like I'm confused and I don't know what to do, ngiyayivula this book and I can refer, you know. Those are my thoughts.
Just short question. I hope the answer is short as well.
Sure.
Do you think after Codesa 2.0, a big chunk of us are going to conclude with a Western view moving forward? Because we keep saying Black and African.
Yeah.
Do you think that's where we're going? And what's going to come out on the other side is going to be dark-skinned white people in terms of how we live, marriage, children, and those things. And we're going to let go of a lot of the other prescriptions from the past.
I think there's a high chance that happens. Because, you know, by and large, impilo zethu sezingaleyo ndlela leyo. You know? Yeah, man. So for myself, it's very difficult to imagine the outcomes not having a Western taint to them.
Huge
Or
Western
tint.
influence too.
Yeah, I can't imagine them not having that.
Okay.
But we can. I think the positive that I can maybe add on to it is that at least we would have deliberated and we would have decided where we want to go
Ourselves at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Happiness. Shut it down.
Sure.
Thanks, sis.
Away.
Good.